So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things that you need to do when building your personal authority / branding. Building your authority and developing your personal branding as an affiliate marketer has tremendous benefits, and the quality of your branding will be or can be the difference between making a decent living online or not. Authority building and developing your personal branding will help you to build a strong following or tribe, and it will also help you to maximize the potential of your target audience. You really need to consider both your authority recognition and also your personal branding, and ideally it should be one of your first objectives in developing your online strategy, and it should really be the first part of outlining a business strategy for any committed online entrepreneur. Now, one of the things is that a notion of having an identifiable authority or developing a personal brand is something that is exclusive to the corporate world, but in fact this is an outdated belief. And the reason for this is that the world has transformed in terms of the fantastic speed of communication these days, the proliferation of e-commerce, and also the significant growth of social media. Everyone really needs to have some way of getting heard or noticed. In effect, everybody really needs to become a brand. And in fact, these days, it's almost a prerequisite if you want your voice to be heard. So then, in this 3rd video in my series, I'm going to share with you my view of the top 5 benefits in terms of shaping your own authority and developing your personal branding strategy. Number 1, making a great impression. These days, people want to know the story behind a brand. They really want a lot of information. They want to know the who, the what, the where, the when, and more importantly, the why and the how of you as an individual. This means that your followers or your tribe really want to know why they should even care about what you've got to offer them. And if you continue to build high authority and develop your brand in your chosen niche, then in fact it really needs to make it abundantly clear that you are better and you are more trusted than everybody else that's out there. This means that the impression on your subscribers or followers is actually everything, and it should really be your number 1 priority. Second is building your credibility. Now, if you have a high personal authority and a level of branding, it projects you as being confident, knowledgeable, and subsequently becoming highly credible in the eyes of your audience. This results in potential audiences who want to follow someone who is considered both trustworthy and reliable. Thirdly, you need to make yourself accessible. If you want to develop high authority and you have a personal brand, then you're significantly easier to find amongst all the online background noise that's out there. So imagine how difficult that would be to single you out if people are searching for that person doing that thing. So I repeat myself, you must make it absolutely as easy as possible for people to be able to find you. Because if you don't, and given the attention span of people these days, which is reducing, then they're more likely to quickly give up and move on to somebody else who can actually provide them with what they need or give them the solution that they're looking for. The easiest way is to take notice of KISS, K-I-S-S, which means keep it simple, stupid. Now, this is really important. What you need to do is make sure that all your usernames are all relevant and that they are all, as much as possible, identical. And if for some reason you can't achieve that, then what I would do is recommend that you make them as similar as possible, or try and find something else to be able to work with. And for this reason, in your forward planning, it makes sense for you to try and grab all of your likely usernames and profiles, particularly social media, before you commit to developing a brand. It'll save you a lot of work in the long term. And I'll give you a tip here: if you can get a domain name with your actual surname, then I would start with that if you want to use your surname as your brand. Ideally, if you can grab your name with a .com at the end of it, then that's the most recognizable on the internet and the most trusted. If you can't get a .com, then the next best one to go for is .net. Also, you need to really ensure that there is a good linkage between your website and all of your social media pages as well as your YouTube channel, and I would strongly advise you to get a YouTube channel via a Gmail account. These can all be easily synchronized, but it does take some time. If you've got the finances, then I would recommend that you invest in something like SynLab to do this for you automatically. So once you've synchronized them all, then please make sure that you test them out to check that they all work perfectly and that there are no broken links. Now, it's also worth noting and making sure that you're open with your contact information, as your following or tribe will want to engage easily with you. You can do this quite easily by encouraging comments on your work or your posts or videos, etc. Or, if you're open to this, more privately by personal email. You need to do whatever you can do and make it easy as possible for people to connect with you and respond as quickly as you're able to. Another tip here, I do understand that not everyone will feel comfortable about being contacted directly, or some people don't like even being identified on the internet. But the reality of it is, the more accessible you are, then the more likely you are to build a strong, loyal following. Now, it is a fact the more quickly you can respond to people, then the way to do this is to adopt a philosophy of underpromising and overdelivering. In that way, you will exceed people's expectations and your credibility will increase. Number 4, benefits of branding. Now, having a strong personal brand will generate greater exposure, and it will give you opportunities for other people within your chosen niche to feature you and your work. And strong brand identity also makes it a lot easier for your followers or tribe to locate your content specifically in their newsfeed or inbox. So, having an instantly recognizable and identifiable brand helps you rise above your competition. And a good, strong, reputable brand that helps you get featured in another person's content is the hallmark of strong branding. This means that other brands can potentially run profiles on you, and that is a great way to grow your own audience. This means that strong branding of you makes you easily identifiable in a crowded marketplace. And finally, number 5, you need to remember that you're building a long-term asset, and it's a sad fact that many online entrepreneurs and business people ultimately fail. The simple fact is that brands last. So then, a strong, recognizable brand will help you keep in people's minds for far longer than merely the time that they spend looking at your content. And that can be content that's either written or video content. So what you're really looking for is the fact that when somebody thinks of your niche, the first thing that you want them to instantly think of, the first thing in their mind, is you. Getting to the point where you have that strong, credible authority and recognizable branding is crucial to remaining at the forefront of your audience's mind. So the objective is this: being the first go-to person has to be a priority goal for you and your business at all times. And strong personal authority and outstanding branding is by far the easiest way to achieve this. If you do this well and you do it consistently, then undoubtedly you will, without any doubt, stand out from the crowd.